Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Homesteading channel. If today is the first time you're visiting with us, we want to extend to you a very warm welcome and invite you to watch any of our over 560 episodes that we have arranged for your convenience in playlists, as we are confident you're going to find something both useful and entertaining to watch. If you've been here before, welcome back. If today is your birthday, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. Today, using scraps, we're going to build a mobile office cart that in our cases is going to house our printer to match the style and the look of the desk that we built last week, I believe, right? So we're going to show it to you and how we use scraps and what we have available to make this nice build. So stick around if you want to learn how to do that. So today we're going to build this beautiful, what style is this?
Farmhouse.
Another farmhouse style. Rolling tray. In our case, again, it will house our printer, but it can house all kinds of things, right? For your office. And of course you can change the dimensions. We make it this dimension so it can fit nicely under the desk we build, but of course you can make it taller, you can make it with more shelving, etc., right? So stick around and we're going to show you everything we did to build this beautiful and functional piece.
Hey, stop for a second.
Okay, now we need...
These are the in-betweens. These are the legs. And these are the longer in-betweens.
Okay. So like we did last week on the desk, we are going to do something similar here. The reason we're using 2 pocket screws per side is because this is going to have more stresses, right? Because it's going to be on casket. We're going to do 3 more exactly the same way. Again, the key when you do pocket screws, make sure you put them all on the same side. So here is a semi-dry fit. These, of course, will be here on the other side, right? So we're making sure that we have all the pocket holes correctly and that everything is correct and everything looks good at this moment. So the next step will be to start the assembly, right? Now, technically, the popular wisdom says that we don't need to put glue on the joints because we have an end grain. But I don't think the glue does any harm if we put some here. So I think we're going to put some glue, just to be different. Did it stop again?
Nope, and just to clarify, this is the shelf upside down. This is going to be the top, and then this board here will come down to create the shelf.
Yeah.
Right, it'll be down a little bit, but it will create the shelf, and then this will flip.
Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Sorry. Alright, so we're going to do the rest of them the same way, and we'll be right back. This is a great application of the specialized Craig clamp, which allows you to hold the piece together while you're screwing it. Of course, it requires that you have 2 pocket holes when you do that, otherwise the clamp doesn't work. But Definitely we tried without it and it was a little more challenging than it is now, right?
So do you want to take this out to show them what each end looks like on that clamp?
Yeah, this is just specifically to pocket screws, so.
So this has a flat side, so it goes flush against, let me get that focused. So anyway, this has the flat side to go flush against the sideboard, and this has this point that goes right into the pocket hole, and that's
It's the right size to go in the pocket hole.
And it's made specifically for this Craig jig, and it goes in there and helps hold the piece in place.
It is not a must. I mean, you can do it without it, but it does make your life a little easier, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, it just helps hold things in place. And once you've got one on either side, then you can just go ahead and do the other one.
And again, I'm putting I cannot speak. I don't know what I want to say.
2 pocket holes on each board to help with any twist or movement, because this is going to be a cart that's going to hold weight and it will be moved around. So we want to make sure that each piece is stable and stays in place.
Okay, we're going to do everything in the same way. We're going to do all the pocket holes. Use a different clamp in this orientation. As you notice, we cannot use the clamp we used last time. And this ensures that the boards are in the correct reveal, right? Don't know if you want to come there. It has a big, flat, what you will call it, disc.
Surface, yeah.
A disc that
That
helps.
allows permits the board to be correctly aligned. So, specialty clamps is not something we saw a lot in the channel, but they are very useful.
So if you have a Craig jig, these are going to be helpful to you.
Yes, I think so. And I do know some people don't like Craig jigs, but I can tell you they are very useful. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how that one works. It holds it in place. It keeps everything flush. And we'll keep going with the rest of the
And
assembly.
without it, we're not going to demonstrate because we don't want to mess it up. But without it, the board will have a tendency to walk around, right? It will not stay flat. But if you come here, you're going to see it's very, very flat. It doesn't move at all.
So here we've got the frame of the cart put together. We're putting the last of the screws in there.
That the problem is actually
The bit is
drill
getting
bit
a
is
little old. It's been well loved. There we go.
So let's turn it the correct way. And now we have to decide on how we're going to do there's going to be a top and there's going to be a shelf, and then we are going to put casters on it so it can be totally mobile.
So it's looking really nice and solid now, and that's what we want.
So because we're using scrap for this project, we're making sure we have a nice edge on our top, because as you can see, the previous one was not square or flat, you know? Square or flat. Let's see what I mean.
There was a ridge in it from the blade.
Yeah. So we have a nice, perfect square there. And now we're going to make another cut, which will be the dimension. Right? So let's measure the dimension. Again, it is not as critical that the piece is exactly, what dimension we said? 19, I don't remember. But because we're going to join this to make one piece, it is important that they are both identical, right? So the way we're going to do that is by putting them next to each other, making sure that they're flush, and then cutting this piece. And then we know that they're exactly the same length. We don't need to, in other words, we don't need to measure this piece at all, right?
Right.
Okay. So that's what we're getting ready to do. You ready? Need the clamp?
No, I just need to have it. Wait.
Once we heat it, don't worry about this.
I'm worrying about it.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
So we have biscuit slots and pocket screws in order to align and give strength to the piece, because we cannot wait for the glue to dry, right? We're going to apply glue here. We're going to attach the pocket screws after we put the biscuits on, and we are going to tighten it all up.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. Okay, can you lift that? Right. All right. We need the clamp thing, or we need the pocket screws. One of the two.
Pocket screws are right here.
And let's look at the top and make sure we didn't come through. Okay.
So you can see the lines from where the biscuit hole maker lined back up, and everything looks really tight for the top.
And we'll do a little bit of sanding, then we're going to stain this, and we're going to move on the next step and painting the base. So we've set up the base on our Pegasus, and we're going to paint it now, so the paint dries while we're doing the next steps in our assembly.
But we need to sand first
Yes.
to make it a little bit better.
Okay.
So here's the base that's been painted white and it's drying. And again, the wheels will be attached later. And then over here, we're staining the top shelf and the bottom shelf. We had to make that into two pieces to get it into the space. And then it's going to be stained to match the desk itself.
So here we are, the first coat of stain has been applied, and we're going to wait and see if we like it or if we're going to apply a second coat. Whenever you stain, the more coat you apply, the darker you will get. So it's a good idea to stop after your first coat, let it dry, see if you like it or not. And if you want it darker, then you can do more coats, right? Because once you stain it, you cannot take it back. In other words, there's no way to make it lighter. So it's better to err in the waiting stage and see what will happen. So we're going to wait and do that, and we're going to get back with you when the stain dries.
So now the top shelf and the bottom shelf, the stain is dry, so I'm going to get ready and get this polyed. So that should bring out the grain just like it did on the desktop.
So for ease of use, we're going to install casters so we can easily move around the office. And we're waiting for everything to dry. Our top and shelf are drying there for final assembly. This caster costs us very little amount of money. I don't remember how much, but we tend to buy casters when we find them, which is something we do find on restores a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can find them much cheaper, and you don't necessarily need them. If you find them for a couple of dollars, buy them. We didn't have a purpose when we bought this, but now we're going to be able to install them on this, so why not have them, right?
Right.
So we're going to install this and we'll be right back. We are at end grain here for where we're putting our casters. It is very important that you do pilot holes. If you don't drill pilot holes, you really risk splitting the wood at the bottom, and also you're going to not only do that potentially, but also weaken the joint, right? So it is really important that you actually drill pilot holes before you attach your casters, and we're doing that in all 4 casters. And we're using screws we happen to have already, so it didn't add to our cost, right?
Right.
All right. We will finish that and we'll be right back. So here we are in the office, our project completed, and as you can see, it's a very nice match between our table and our rolling tray that very, very easily moves around, right?
Yeah, very mobile.
A mobile tray, who would have thought?
It matches very nicely.
Yeah, I think it looks good. Now, a couple of things. We had to make some joints that we wouldn't have to if we were not using scrap wood, right? But part of what we wanted to show you today is that you can use scrap wood to make furniture and make it look very good. I mean, I think you want to show the top.
Oh yeah, we've made it glossy, and we finished it in the same stain as we did the desk here.
But more importantly, it is 2 different pieces of wood from our scrap peel.
So this didn't cost us anything extra today.
Right. We already talked about, we had the casters. We buy things when we find them in really good prices in restores and places like that. Mm-hmm. So our effective cost was 0. Everything was scrap and the casters, but even if you were to buy the casters, it's a very low cost. Mm-hmm. If we were to buy this wood, what do you think? Maybe $20, $30?
Oh no, easily 50 to 75.
No, I don't mean buy it, buy the wood.
Oh, the wood? Yeah, probably, no, 20, 30 bucks maybe.
So, the 2 pieces combined cost us, let's say, $100, the desk and the cart, right? Mm-hmm. In material and of course our labor. So it's a very doable project, and you don't always have to go and buy lumber. First of all, it's good to thin your wood pile, right? Mm-hmm. Otherwise it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And on the other hand, you can have really nice results. I really like that top, even though it's 2 different pieces of wood.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode, friends, and if you did, we would appreciate a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you have not done yet. Share, like, let us know what you would like to see in future episodes of the Urban Homesteading channel. And I hope you are going to build something like this yourself. If you build something that you're inspired to build from our episodes, we would love if you email us your project. And at some point I would like to make an episode showcasing projects that you guys have done. From Dr. Wizard, Mrs. Wizard, Elpida at the Urban Homesteading channel, stay safe, wash your hands, and we're going to see you soon midweek with some other fun project. Stay safe, friends.